in the book of Maulana Rumi, one of America's favorite poets, who is a Gnostic, Muslim saint. He mentions a story about a prayer man, a man who used to always pray. He says, "On yaki Allah mi gufti shabe, ta ke shirin mi shod az zikrash labe." This man used to call upon God all the time. He would call upon God in the morning, in the evening, when he was sick, when he was happy, when he was prosperous. Every occasion, he would call upon God to the degree that his mouth would always be moist and sweet from the remembrance of God. So what happened one day? Gof shaitan akhire bisyar gu, in hama Allah ra labbaik ku. So Satan comes to him one day and he says, "Oh, aren't you the prayer man who call upon God all the time? I've heard you call upon him millions of times. Have you ever heard an answer from him?" Mi nayayad yak jawab az pish takht, chand Allah mizani ba ruyi sakht. What is wrong with you? You call upon him when you're sick. I've seen you call upon him in the middle of the night. You call upon him when you're happy. You call upon him when you're tired, exhausted from work. What is wrong with you? I'm telling you, he will not answer you. God is sitting in the seventh heaven on his throne. You think he has time for you to answer your call? Rumi says, Satan broke the man's heart. And he's good at that. That is his area of expertise. He breaks people's heart. He said the man stopped calling upon God. Time passes by and one day he falls asleep. And he hears the voice of God in his dream. And he says, Goft hina zikr chun wa mondei, chun pashaymani az an kish khandei. He said, what happened? Weren't you the man who used to remember us all the time? Do you regret calling upon us? Why did you stop calling? Gof labbaikam nemi ayad jawab, zan hami tarsam ke basham rad bab. He said, you never answered me. I never heard an answer. I called you millions of times. Not even one time you could have answered me. I'm afraid I'm amongst the rejected one, and you don't care about me. And then God responds. He says, Goft on Allah to labbaika most. He said, your calling was the answer. Your calling, that was the answer. One niyazo dar the suzat peikamos. And remember those times you used to call upon us when you were sick with that trembling voice? That was the melody of the seven heavens. All of the angels used to gather to listen to your calling. Remember those times you used to sin and disobey us, and then you used to come up with an excuse and say, oh God, forgive me? Who do you think put that excuse in your heart? It was us. We put the excuse in your heart because of your calling. ترس و عشق تو کمند لطف ماست زیر هر یا رب تو لبیک هاست. I swear to you on my dignity, on my servant, that when you had fear, we put that in your heart so you don't disobey us. When you loved us and you did all these amazing things, we put that in your heart. And I swear to you, every time you called, for every single call of yours, I had a million answers hidden inside of that call. Satan was telling him that you have called him a million times, he haven't answered you. God is telling him, for every calling, I had a million answers for you. This is how God works. This is how God works. Our job is to pray. We shouldn't occupy ourselves whether he hears it or not, because God